how's it going? It's Michael, and I'm playing a game called Final Fantasy VII. I apologize ahead of time for the long load screen on here, because, well, for one, starting a new game has like a 5-minute, literally 5-minute opening cinematic. Which, I mean, I'll be honest, it's pretty worth it. Wish the opening cinematic might look a little different. I don't really know. I do have a mod on this game, so it may look a little better. I'm not sure. I will admit, this game is fun, and I'm trying to skip this at any second that I can, but unfortunately, it's not an option. So I guess just enjoy the opening cinematic for now.
My name is Cloud. Soldier. First class.
Well, this is new. I didn't notice, but the mod does some things, like it changes the character models around a little bit. So now the game starts in all of its pixelated glory. Final Fantasy VII. Some characters look kind of derpy, so just kind of. Gotta remember how to run. There we go. But yeah, the game is actually really fun. There's a lot of grinding involved, so I apologize about that. I'll probably try to get to the first boss, and that'll be all I'll do for this video. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below if you do want more Final Fantasy VII, as this is a game that my first role-playing game, I do believe. So there's that, which oddly enough was in, I think it was actually in 1997 whenever I played the game, but playing it on PC is a little bit different. The button scheme is, so it's kind of different. Didn't catch my name. Cloud is going to be my name on here, just for I was hitting the wrong button, so that's my bad. Which, the characters, if you've noticed, some of the characters from the game are from the Advent Children movie, have those as their character models, which looks kind of funny, being the fact that the original, it's mostly, I guess you would say, almost original PS1 graphics, maybe a tad bit better, but the game actually wasn't out very long before it went to PC. I don't really remember. But yeah, the grind is real on this game. If I can find a way to skip past some of the grinding, I'm going to, because I know for a fact that that would get very boring really quickly. You know, you'll be able to leave your computer and be like, oh, well, what's he doing? 30 minutes later, still doing that grinding thing. You know what, I'm gonna go over here and talk to this guy just to see what he has to say. Okay, he had nothing important to say whatsoever. Which some of this also might come from Crisis Core, which is the pre Final Fantasy VII game. Don't know how many of you guys actually played that, but I never beat it, but I played quite a bit of it. It was a pretty fun game. Actually playing this on a trusty Xbox One controller. It's a good time. That's why sometimes I'm having difficulty with the buttons, because I have it laid out similar, but I keep pushing the wrong buttons for things. Which, over here, there's a potion, I do believe, or something. I usually try to get it. Oh, never mind, it's Phoenix down, that's even better. But yeah, this game, it brings back memories, fond memories of whenever it was out for PlayStation and PS1. I actually still have a greatest hits version for the PS1. I just, playing it on PC is just easier, and I don't really have to buy a PlayStation 1 to play it, so that's always a plus. Although on the PC version I've never made it past disc 1, only because I grind a lot on the discs. So on disc 1 I like to get at least level 50-ish. That way the enemies don't pose much of a threat after the fact, you know. Once I've reached such a level, they're not going to really affect me much. But as you could tell, the character models are a little different. But like I said too, that's from my mod. The game's running just a touch sluggish whenever the menu comes up, but I think that can be fixed. They could be where I'm recording it as well, so I mean, it's not really. But yeah, I really wish that this game came out whenever voice acting was big, like around PS2 era, but you know, I mean, even though it doesn't really make the game any less credible. I mean, it's one of my favorite games still, and it's almost 3-4 generations later. So, you know, I mean, there's that. Save my game. There's another game where I'm level 60. but that's aside the point. I'll probably only play this file whenever I'm recording it, so you guys see every boring detail. That is, if you guys want me to continue to create this, or upload Final Fantasy VII. Like I said, one of my favorite games. Could be pretty boring to watch, though, which I understand that, because, I mean, some people don't like watching certain games. Like, if somebody's like, oh yeah, you ought to watch me play Pokemon. I like playing Pokemon, but watching people play it is totally different. I kind of dislike it altogether. I don't know why this thing's not moving. There it goes. Shout out to Matt for helping me figure this out. Because honestly, I almost didn't. And so I wouldn't have been able to record this. We're about to set up the bomb, and then boom, boss fight. Which the boss isn't that hard for a beginning boss, but, you know, I mean, as a boss goes, he's definitely stronger than the main, you know, the main regular people. And I love how everything looks polygonal, but like Cloud doesn't really look that bad, but I mean, I know it's my mod and everything else, but still it makes it not look so bad. And a lot of the textures around don't look near as bad than they did on the PlayStation. Although it's been quite a while since I've actually played the PlayStation version, don't get me wrong. I have just been playing on the PC recently, so whenever this boss starts pulling up his laser tail, that's whenever, yeah, I know I just did a hand motion, so that was lovely. But he, so it's going to laser counterattack. Yep, there it goes. And it's painful. But we both got our limits now. And that almost killed us. And he's going to tail laser us again, I do believe. Unless that killed him. Nope. Oh, but I'm dead. Cloud is dead. Item. Phoenix down. Gonna put his tail down anytime soon? There he goes, putting his tail down. Now I'm gonna give both of my team potions. Make sure they stay alive, because it was a dumb idea of me to attack while the tail was up. Because the tail laser does 70-something damage each turn. And if you attack twice, and you know, obviously he's got his tail up, that's 2 hits that you're going to get lasered. that tail attack just hurts too. You know, and you would think too, where it was a robot, the bolt attack would do more damage, which I think it does do more than my basic attack. Oh, sweet, I killed it. I'll be honest, there has been times that's taken me 2 or 3 times to do. Not really proud about that, but as far as bosses goes, though, he's actually not too bad. Oh, now the 10-minute timer. I like how it gives you 10 minutes, but 10 minutes is actually a lot of time. Because, I mean, 10 minutes, even if you do fight every random encounter, is still plenty of time to get out of here, I do believe. Which, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how to run from people. So, on the PC version that is, I never did figure that out, so it's just something I've just got to deal with. Because it's not the same as it was on PlayStation or PS2 or, well, you know, where you just push the 4 buttons on top and then you just run. Which I think it was a specific one, but I always just hit all 4 of them for why not. Then I think this time Jesse's leg is stuck. Help them get it out. Which I'm really eager to see how they've done the new one that's coming out. The new Final Fantasy VII game. And 15 also launches sometime soon, I do believe. But I'm really eager to see how 7 runs and functions and what kind of game it's going to be. Because it has potential to be very good or extremely bad. And I say that because I really enjoy this game. So I'm going to be sort of biased when it comes out, whether I'm going to like it or not. Because some of the things that I've heard is they're going to make it like, sort of like an episodes, not quite so much like the Walking Dead game from Telltale, but more or less like, you know, Final Fantasy 13, and then, you know, you got Lightning Returns later on, but I think they're going to release it like something like that. This time it's reversed. Let me see if that thing's still listening. Which, you know, the game's character models, the textures, the backgrounds, and everything are all pretty dated. But, I mean, the story is actually one of my favorite stories in any RPG I've ever played. And I've played quite a few now. I mean, mostly other Final Fantasy games, but this one, in my opinion, has one of the better stories. Although I will admit I really enjoy 10-2. Not 10-2, but I enjoy 10 also. Because 10-2 was, I didn't like it at all. It just wasn't the Final Fantasy continuation that I was hoping for. Which I've never actually beat this game 100%. I've only beat Sephiroth, but not the weapons. And I've not mastered all my materias that I can master either. So the grind is real, but I've actually not grinded near as much as some people. Now this explosion happens, which even for PS1, some of like this stuff here is actually pretty well done. Some of the character models, though, you can kind of tell are from way back. Especially the ones like Wedge and Jesse and Biggs. You know, they're kind of more polygonal, but still yet. And apparently in the beginning, Cloud is in my opinion, he's like muscle for hire. Usually buy a flower from her. I mean, it does. I don't think it really does anything that I can remember, but it just seems like a nice gesture to do. Trying to find a save point once I find one. Oh yeah, I remember this. Oh, I had to fight them instead of later. I think you got to wind up fighting a set later anyway, but remember that grinding I was talking about? Right here is a lot. But I really enjoy the way Cloud looks in this mod. I think it makes him look a lot cooler, a lot more detailed that was the word I was looking for. And now I think I jump on a train. Yeah, see, that's what Cloud usually looks like. That right there. So my Cloud looks a little bit different. Which a friend that I work with wanted to see like a comparison between the PlayStation 1 version and the PC version of the game. Which is part of the reason why I'm doing this. Other than the fact that I just like this game. Hopefully this isn't too boring with a lot of talking and stuff. That was part of my fear, though, is that watching the game be played would be different than just actually playing it and enjoying it. And I know I'm skipping through all the talking, but It's just, if you want to read all the talking and everything, you know, be sure to pick it up. If you have a PC, it is on Steam. I think it's on the PlayStation Network too, but I'm not real sure how much it is on there. But I know on Steam, I think it's like $11, $11.99 or something like that. Cloud's character model with this new thing just seems so out of place, doesn't it? I forgot you gotta do some of this stuff too. Like look at the character map of the town that I'm in on the game called Midgar, which is where you start at. And I think you're in Midgar for probably about 10 or 15% of the first disc. And then you kind of branch off. There's like an open world, and you go around to different spots. But it's pretty neat. I like it. Security area. And apparently Midgar, like, they've got a place called the Slums, and it's like for people who can't afford the high tier living, so there's another plate that's hovering over it. But yeah, I mean, the game can be kind of engrossing sometimes, especially, I mean, even though the the graphics are kind of on the low end. Well, now anyway, they were high end whenever it first came out, but whenever I liked the story so much whenever I first played this game that it actually got to the point to where I actually bought my own copy. I borrowed a copy off of somebody, which is my original playthrough. Then I bought a copy about several years later, and I felt kind of bad because the copy that I borrowed off my friend, I actually played it so much it stopped working. Don't know if you ever got another copy of that, but it was a very good game. Which I think they're okay, good. And so I'm not going to try to make this video too god-awful long with, you know, the cutscenes and stuff. Kinda doesn't help much, but that's all for this video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe.